Renowned storyteller from plays, screenplays to movies, Tyler Perry is not just an ordinary name in the film and television industry. The self-made actor, director, screenwriter, author, and producer has impacted millions with his creativity and self-generated talent. This includes creating an unforgettable and iconic fictional character of Madea. He is the creator of one of the biggest film and television production companies called Tyler Perry Studios. The studio has been used to shoot the Marvel film Black Panther and the highly rated series The Walking Dead, amongst many others. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana in 1969, Tyler Perry was one of 4 children. Tyler's birth name was Perry after his father, but he changed his first name at the age of 16 to Tyler. This was an attempt to create separation from his physically and emotionally abusive father. Tyler's legacy is the American dream. Born and raised in a poor and abusive family, Tyler rose up to build an empire. Among his successes, he is the mastermind behind 17 feature films, 20 stage plays, 7 television shows, a best-selling author, and more. His story is one of our most inspirational yet. Hi, and welcome to our channel, where we look at famous figures and entrepreneurs and peel back the curtain of their achievements so we can learn the secrets of their success. If you like what you see, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring videos about the lives, successes, and lessons learned from some of the most famous business figures of our time. In this video, we will study the incredible life of Tyler Perry, a man who came from incredible poverty and abuse and built a media empire, and who even lived in his car, but was not to be denied his voice, no matter what. We dig deep into his life, the emotional life-saving tools he used to overcome his abusive family environment, and how he became an inspiration for us all for what is possible. And today, Tyler Perry has become one of Hollywood's newest billionaires. So let's jump in. Tyler Perry lived in a poverty-stricken household. Perry's parents had different personalities that have made him who he is today. Perry's mother showed him the love of Christianity as he participated in the church, while his father gave him the experience of abuse both verbally and physically, which developed his sense of empathy and compassion. But the abuse early on almost took Tyler Perry from us. Eventually, depression crept from all the abuse, and as a result, he attempted suicide multiple times and dropped out of high school. In a recent interview, he stated, "As a kid, I considered suicide and even attempted it a couple of times because I thought it would be easier to be dead." But he fought through. At 22, while he was working at various odd jobs, he watched The Oprah Winfrey Show, where he learned that writing can be part of his journey for therapeutic use. He took the talk show's advice and began to compose letters about his abusive past that he wrote to himself. With these series of letters that he wrote to himself, Perry transformed it into a musical that he named I Know I've Been Changed. Perry invested $12,000 of his life savings into the project, but only 30 people showed up to the theatrical debut. After the play flopped, he took his failure as a chance to remodel the project for 6 more years. He still kept working at odd jobs to fund his dream, stating, "At the time I was a bill collector, but there are at least 40 companies in Atlanta with a record of me working there over a period of 5 or 6 years. I was a used car salesman, shoe shine boy, bartender, waiter." While he lived out of his car on and off, he used to rent space at a community theater in Atlanta to produce work he had drafted in his spare time. He tweaked the production, working out the kinks until it started to garner some notice. He designed the set, made the programs, and hung the lights. He even sold snacks during the intermission. During this time, Perry kept rewriting his play and honing his craft. He was a one-man show. Perry then began to tour relentlessly with his show, slowly building a strong following among Black Americans, particularly the church-going set, older women like his mother. It was in 2000 where Madea, the Black matriarch character, first appeared during his play I Can Do All By Myself. Madea is acted by Tyler Perry himself. The floral dress with a full set of grey hair became an iconic character throughout the next 2 decades after Madea's creation. Figuratively, Madea can be defined as a family member to a lot of people. He states that he would embody messages in his work, stating, "Madea did in 2 hours what my family hasn't been able to do in 12 years, convince my sister to finally leave an abusive relationship." And this is when his life would change forever. After hearing of Tyler's play, the infamous Oprah Winfrey decided to go and watch it. She was so inspired by it, she claimed she was changed by it. So much so that she invited the then 31-year-old onto her show in 2001. The notoriety would propel his career, but it was backstage, speaking with Oprah directly, that she gave him the greatest advice and the biggest reason for his financial success. She told him, "No matter what happens, always be fully in control of your own paycheck and your own material. Do not give away your work." This advice would lead to Tyler Perry building an empire. Another important lesson he learned, especially for content providers, is to keep creating. Do not sit back on your laurels. As a result, his huge break came in 2006, when two struggling broadcast networks, UPN and WB, merged to create a new one called CW. The new network needed content, and Perry had it. Here is the important lesson. He kept creating more and more content. He never stopped. He went to Hollywood armed with 10 full episodes of television production, paid for and ready to air. CW bought it and aired it as House of Pain, which pulled in ratings wildly above expectations. The TBS network took note. Before Perry had filmed another scene, he landed a guarantee that TBS would air at least 90 new episodes of his show that he would own outright. The network offered $200 million to get him away from CW. As a pure entrepreneurial endeavor, this was pure gold for such cheap productions, primetime programming on a soap opera budget, as one top agent calls it. He spent nothing on writers, directors, producers, or showrunners. He was a one-man show. Perry pocketed a huge haul, an estimated $138 million. But now movie making was in his sights. But the overwhelmingly white Hollywood executive set still didn't quite get his work. "Black people who go to church don't go to the movies," Perry recalls one executive telling him at the time. "I came from a place where black people had already embraced me and loved me. I was completely happy there and still am." But from his belief in himself, he made the Lionsgate CEO a proposal. He would put up half the money, collect half the profits, and keep control of the content, and Perry would eventually own it all outright over time for his production of Diary. Diary, which cost $5.5 million to make, grossed $51 million in theaters, and has since brought an additional $150 million in video rentals, on-demand viewing, DVD sales, and TV licensing. While most of Hollywood shrugged off the movie's success as lucky, Perry and Lionsgate began pumping out the famous Madea movies, 11 of them over 14 years. All made with minimal production time and low budgets. By the time Perry decided to retire the franchise in 2019, it had grossed more than $670 million at the box office and netted him about $290 million in fees and profits. Just like Oprah Winfrey created her independent studio, Tyler Perry Studios grew based on the purchase of the land that the business runs on since 2015. The 330-acre land the studio sits on was once a military base named Fort McPherson in Atlanta, after acquiring and converting the land into a film and television studio. The studio is one of the largest film studios owned by any film and television studio in the US. And following Oprah Winfrey's guidance, Perry today owns the entirety of his creative output, including more than 1,200 episodes of television, 22 feature films, and at least 24 stage plays, and his 330-acre studio lot at the edge of Atlanta's southern limits. He used that control over his content to leverage a deal with Viacom-CBS that pays him $150 million a year for new content and gives him an equity stake in BET+. Forbes claims that Perry has earned more than $1.4 billion in pre-tax income since 2005, with a net worth of more than $1 billion. This is an important lesson for aspiring entrepreneurs. Own your content. When at all possible, give up very little equity and control. Make the company your own. And with the monetary success has come luxuries that come with it. Perry set the record in 2016 of closing the biggest real estate deal in Georgia for a home with a price of $17.5 million. Today he owns many homes, airplanes, and also owns an island as a birthday gift to himself. Quite a lifestyle for a once homeless playwright raised in poverty in New Orleans and coming from an abused family. But like many successful entrepreneurs, he gives back generously. His philanthropic ways have been acknowledged as he was awarded the Gene Herschelt Humanitarian Award from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in 2021. Perry is the epitome of resilience and persistence. No matter what life throws at you, he was there to meet the challenge head-on. The path to success is never straight. It is never perfect. But if you believe in yourself, never give up, keep fighting, and always better your abilities, especially when you believe that your stories and ideas deserve to be told. Then success is waiting for you. So what did you learn from Tyler Perry's success? Type in your comments below. If you found this video interesting, like this video and subscribe by also clicking the notification bell for more videos like these. Share this video for more inspiration too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And until then, it all starts with your mindset and passion for being heard. Your story deserves to be told.